His whisper cut through the air, soft and sharp, like a blade wrapped in velvet, in the crowded room. I felt his eyes on me, calm but hiding a secret I wasn't sure I could grasp. Tonight wasn't just another night. Something was coming, and it burned in my veins. I didn't know if I could stop it. Before we dive deeper, if you're with me, thanks for sticking around. Hit like and subscribe, it means more than you think. And if you're new, welcome. I'm glad you're here. Let's get started. The champagne glass was cool between my fingers, condensation trailing down its slender stem. Golden light flickered from the chandeliers above, casting shadows that danced like ghosts on the polished marble bar. Around me, polite murmurs and laughter faded like a song after the speeches ended. I stood alone, poised and graceful as always. The perfect picture of calm at this upscale gala in Chicago. But my pulse betrayed me, thrumming with a hunger I didn't want to name. Someone approached from behind James, 32, his presence clear without a touch, just dangerously close. My pulse quickened, not from shock, but from the weight of anticipation I refused to admit. If we leave now. His voice came low, a whisper that felt like a spark against my skin. No one will notice. I didn't turn. I blinked slowly, the moment stretching between us like a charged wire, humming with silent electricity. The crowd around us seemed miles away, irrelevant. The silence lingered, delicate but heavy. Then I set my glass down on the polished surface, the soft clink a signal. A dare wrapped in surrender. A single, small nod, sharp and certain. Without hesitation, I moved toward the side hallway, quieter, slightly removed from the crowd. His steps followed, steady, unhurried, matching my pace. No words passed between us. None were needed. A silent understanding bound us, tight as a noose. Something was about to shift, and I was ready for whatever came next. The hallway was narrow, the soft carpet muffling our steps as I moved forward. The faint scent of polished wood and forgotten perfume surrounded us. The party's noise faded behind the door. I reached a quiet coat room first, hidden from prying eyes. James was right behind me. The door's latch clicked shut, sealing us in a cocoon of silence. Before I could settle, I felt him behind me, his presence soft but unmistakable, like a shadow that could burn. It was a fleeting moment, but it snapped me awake, reminding me how I'd been stifling my thoughts all night. He moved behind me, steady, quiet, with careful intent. His hand hovered beside me, a brief touch that didn't linger. I shifted slightly, lowering my gaze, my breath catching as the silence pressed in like a vice. A tense stillness wrapped around us, the moment stretching with a feeling I couldn't name. The room felt quieter now, the silence pulling my attention to every detail. I noticed his slight pause, a subtle shift in how he stood so close, like he was testing the air between us. His eyes, steady and unblinking, locked onto mine without a word. Then, as the silence swelled, he leaned closer, pausing at the edge of my awareness. I didn't move, unsure what would come next, choosing to wait. He stayed close, still and focused, watching my reaction. My fingers brushed the velvet chair's back, steadying me as I tried to hold my composure. The silence between us was a living thing, heavy with what we didn't say. My breathing was all I heard, slow and deliberate. I turned to face him, calm now, eyes locked on whatever might happen next. His gaze held me, like a trap I didn't want to escape. "I'm here," I said, voice even and steady. The last trace of hesitation vanished, like a glove tossed aside in a fight. His hands moved with calm purpose, loosening my coat with quiet efficiency. Each undone button shifted the fabric, a silent confession of what we were stepping into. I reached for his lapel, pulling him closer, calm and wordless. In that moment, my careful control gave way to something surer, something reckless and alive. His lips met mine in a quiet acknowledgement, a seal on everything we hadn't said. I leaned back against the mirror, its cool surface grounding me. His hand traced my side, a brief gesture asking nothing more. I shifted, the space between us closing without a word. The silence deepened, thick with unspoken truths. I noticed how still everything was, anticipation rising in me like a tide. The quiet settled heavier around us, each moment heavy with meaning. Without hesitation, he stepped closer as I leaned against the vanity's edge. I didn't resist. I placed my hand on his chest, steady, feeling his heartbeat under my palm, a rhythm that matched my own forbidden pulse. Our eyes locked. No words, no questions, just the undeniable truth. There was no going back. I nodded once, sharp and certain. He leaned toward my jaw, his presence quiet and focused. Each moment near me carried a weight, like a vow we couldn't speak. His fingers paused near my shoulder, adjusting my blouse's edge with a delicate motion. A subtle awareness moved through me, harder to ignore than define. The space between us grew quieter, every motion heavy with consequence. I paused, realizing how fast everything was shifting. His hands rested lightly at my sides, steady and calm. I adjusted my blouse, feeling the room's stillness press against me like a warning. I stepped closer, one hand near his shoulder. The room's silence stretched, broken only by the faint rustle of fabric. His hands rested at my sides, a steady presence I didn't fight. Each moment of closeness carried more weight than I expected. He leaned closer, and I forgot everything but his presence near me. The dim light from the vanity's lamp cast soft shadows, making the world feel gentler, quieter, farther away. We stood close by the vanity, its cool surface stark against the moment's stillness. My heart pounded, each beat echoing in my ears. My hands rested near his shoulders, closing the small gap between us. I noticed his steady, calm breathing, blending faintly with the distant music behind the door. I shifted, realizing how close we'd become. His hand held mine, like we were both afraid to move too fast. The silence stretched, filled with what we didn't dare say. We stood quietly together, the moment balanced between action and stillness. My fingers paused near his jaw, and he looked at me without a word. His eyes held mine, slow and steady, like a silent confession of everything we left unsaid. The world outside blurred into a haze of muffled sounds and faint shadows. Everything felt sharper now, each second cutting deeper than the last. My focus narrowed, awareness collapsing into the moment. A quiet intensity spread through me, subtle but undeniable. The moment moved delicately, each second feeling vital. My fingers gripped his coat, aware of how close we stood, like we were teetering on a cliff. The room's stillness deepened, wrapping us in silent anticipation. His hands rested near me, and I stayed close without hesitation. Then, suddenly, we were completely still. standing quietly together. I stood motionless, the silence swelling like a storm about to break. My hands rested on his shoulders, steady and calm. My thoughts raced, each one clear and sharp. I stood frozen, processing the moment's intensity. The air around us grew heavy, and I focused only on the present. I paused silently, the moment's quiet intensity swallowing me whole. The scent of polished wood lingered in the room, blending subtly with the faint floral aroma from flowers arranged near the mirror. We stood quietly together, aware only of each other. Beyond the door, faint laughter went unheard, unnoticed. No knock came. In that quiet moment, I knew nothing else mattered. Before you go, picture yourself standing there, watching it unfold. Would you stay silent or step in? What would you think right now? Let me know in the comments. I'll read everyone. If you haven't, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss what's next. Thanks for being here.